Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Nani Live Talk, and it's month February. We are almost, coming to an end, and it's been an exciting journey. Having this wonderful quality times with you guys as we speak about speed, and we are so excited that we have been consistent and moving on, topic after topic and just discussing about speed. So happy to be here today, and I believe you're keeping well and you're keeping safe. And yeah, greetings from East Africa. Please, as you join in, let us know where you're joining in from. And so we're about to start our talk very soon, and we're having a guest speaker tonight. So I'll talk more about him when I have him on board, or probably he can talk more about himself. But I hope you have signed up for the session. If you have not signed up for speed session, we're gonna do it next week. It's more intensive and uh, more serious, I would say. We get to action as far as speed is concerned. So if you have not signed up for the session, please head to the link in bio and join us. And so thank you everyone who is joining in. Frankie, Sengo. I've seen a name there that just passed so quickly. So welcome everybody who is joining us. Kevin's,
Hi,
habari za huko?
salama, habari yako?
Yeah, nzuri sana. Where are you checking in from?
I'm checking in from Mombasa.
Okay.
I was having a digital summit session today, so it was a full day affair. So
Oh,
actually, I had to really ensure that I get out real quick, try
mm.
find a position, and really ensure that we're able to probably offer value and knowledge at this particular hour.
All right, all right. So first of all, let me thank you so much for accepting to take part in this very brief session. And so I appreciate that. And yeah, I hope the weather in Mombasa is treating you well. And so
Sure.
welcome to our session. So I'll just maybe in just 1 minute, just tell us, about what you do. I know you're in a summit, you're into communication. Kevin is a good friend of mine. And so just briefly, who you are, what you do in like 1 minute, and then we proceed to the topic.
All right. My name is Kevin Randiek. I'm based in Nairobi, Kenya. Actually, I lead a business called Brand K Integrated Marketing and Communications Limited. I'm actually in the service industry of communications, whereby my day-to-day in life revolves around creating solutions that can offer a competitive value proposition to clients. So this is from a point of facilitating trainings around communications, taking clients through developing their annual strategy plans. For example, let's say it's Mimi ni Nani Tanzania. So it will be about how can Mimi ni Nani probably position themselves and target their audience precisely as the year goes by. So really, I'm in the business of creating solutions that puts up clients to have a unique value proposition into their business. That's what I do 24/7. So it's I mean, to make it really light is I wake up each and every day thinking of how best I can create solutions that supports clientele businesses and enables them to compete well within their respective industries. So that's basically what I do.
All right, all right. Thank you so much, and thank you for sharing your work around communication and how you're helping businesses, finding solutions in communications and so forth. So I think when it comes to, we've been talking about speed, this topic about speed and how the month of February, it's been it's quite a short month of the year, and so we kind of need to catch up with it. And we had some different topics around speed. So it would be nice to hear from you. How do you really, put into practice, the aspect of speed? I'm sure you have quite a number of clients, probably working with a team and ensuring that, everything goes as how you plan. So maybe you can tell us, how do you apply speed in your life race, as we called it?
How do I apply speed? I will look at it this way. The best way in which we try to apply speed, like from me as a person, is when I wake up each and every day in the morning. At times, yes, I miss out on being consistent. Is I try to check out the newspapers for the day, in that what's there exactly in that particular newspaper, and could there be a focus area that we could attempt to leverage on and get a client. What that means is, for you to be up to date with your speed, you also need to try and read. Reading is not necessarily about reading motivational books or reading academic books. Reading gets to a point whereby, are you able to understand, or rather, are you aware of what the headline of that day's publication is? In the sense that if you miss it out and you see it the next day, it will mean like over 500 people have seen it. So speed for us entails, one, each and every day we are able to maybe internalize periodicals. Speed for us means that if your international news site is the Fox, you're able to maybe wake up in the morning and say, hey, today I just want to hear what America is saying about Black Lives Matters. Speed for us is about, hey, are you really able to connect within your space and connect within your audience within a short period of time, and call your client and say, hey, my name is Kevins. I'm looking for Felicia for me, meaning Nani. Will I probably create a solution around how best you can take education awareness to primary school? So on a brief perspective, that's what speed applies to us.
Thank you so much, Kevin. And I like how you kind of linked that to, we spoke about speed and focus. And so it's not just about speeding, you know, getting somewhere faster, but more about, you know, how you can maintain the focus at the same time paying attention to people or things around you, which, you know, comes into purpose or like, you know, the ongoings. And so I like how you have attached that to, you know, waking up in the morning, knowing where the world is, where is my sector at, you know, how is my industry doing again, you know, relative to other things. And so that is very important to speed. Actually, I really like that. And, you know, it just shows how much we can put that into practice. So Kevin, let me, and please, guys, everyone who is joining in, please put in your comments, your inputs, or your thoughts around this. You can as well ask questions, and it would be nice to kind of just, you know, I could stop here and there and just to discuss it, or maybe, you know, have our guests to correspond to them. So, Kevin's, I would like to hear from you. We spoke about, you know, how when we're speeding, and then, you know, there is that aspect of slowing down at some point, you know. So maybe, like for you, are there times where you feel like you're slowing down, you know, and how do you know that maybe, or how do you feel that out, and how do you deal with that? Because, you know, is it about, we spoke about how it's not just about speeding, but sometimes you might need to kind of, you know, or sometimes it's external factors kind of slowing you down. So how does that work for you? Do you have such moments in life where you feel like that?
Yeah. I do have those moments whereby I am completely slowing down, and it always becomes, how can I put it? It always becomes disappointing for me. And slowing down for us, or rather slowing down for me, is when I know I have to do a proposal to a client, and I simply will sit down and only write four lines out of probably an expected 6 paragraphs. So slowing down, yes, also at times it's important. And it's okay at times when you realize that you're slowing down, in the sense that when you're slowing down, it enables you understand that you're not going to be able to meet your deliverables. And you know, I was thinking through these probably the entire day, in terms of moments that I've slowed down and what I always try to do. Whenever I feel like I've slowed down, nowadays I'm so much self-aware of the fact that it kills my spirit, in that it demotivates me further. And in most cases, I always look at it as cliche, but whenever I feel like I'm slowing down, I'll attempt as much as possible to run, to physically be up to speed with myself. Number two, whenever I realize
Sorry, Kevin, let me please just pause you. Like, can you give us an example of what kind of a thing that would have slowed you down, maybe? Is there an example? Yeah.
An example is when we've spent so much time in terms of creating a proposal, a creative proposal, which probably might have taken 2 weeks or even a whole week putting into place. You do a proposal and a pitch to a client, then it turns out with a regret. And this particular regret is always like, probably even 5 lines or 6 lines or 10 lines after days and nights of putting in energy in crafting a solution for a client. And that always sets us back. And it always probably, in a way, really pulls me down as a team lead. And that's now where I'm saying, whenever I realize that's happening, the least I always at times try to do is to try and exercise, because the best way to energize myself is to boost my physical up to speed, because that's now what makes me forget that and go on to the next as immediate as possible. And slowing down here also is from a point of you're talking about speed, and speed is even classified in terms of quarters of the year. I'm always so particular in terms of what objectives am I achieving within the 4 quarters of a year. In the sense that February was short, we're getting into March. So speed for us here, after slowing down, means what have we been able to achieve on the first 2 months of the year? And if at all we have not achieved anything, is there something in particular that we are really precisely working on and saying that 80% of this is going to go through and it's going to bridge the last 2 months that you've lost? So that's really probably the best way I can describe that at this particular moment, because maybe we have a few minutes to explore more, and I don't want to take so much time talking, but really to try and maybe add value to any person within the audience listening. I hope I've got you right on that, Felicia.
Yes, that's very well addressed, and thank you so much. I think I like how you brought different aspects to things that slow us down, because sometimes we think that we are our own reason or the main cause of things slowing down. Maybe I'm lazy, maybe I've not done my part. And as much as that is there, but also there are times when there are things that are out of your control. And now, how do you set your mental, your mental setup to kind of deal with that? And I like Frankie Sengo said, slow down happens so that we can speed it up. So sometimes, things you need to kind of re-energize and kind of, boost yourself up. You go for running, maybe probably somebody else does something else. So, it's all about how do you recharge and get up to speed. So thank you so much for taking us into that perspective. So guys, again, if you have not signed up for the session on speed, it's an intensive session happening next week. We're going to wind up this theme for the month. Please check link in bio, and you'll find all the directions to that, and sign up for the session. Don't leave this month to leave you behind in this topic. So last part before we wind up, we got like 3 minutes. So Kevin's, how do you help us now kind of, connect speed, which we've been talking about speed and how you can, you can speed up in a smart way, right? So, how do you link speed and, productivity or, efficiency? So how do you speed while, achieving or, meeting your objectives? So, that link, so that we don't just speed for nothing, So please help us there. Maybe, in your own world, how do you do that, or how would you advise us?
All right. Okay. For me, when I look at speed, speed at times for me is about taking risks, even if I don't really know where the end destination is going to be. For example, at times I always get calls, or rather, always get referrals that will want me to pick up projects at times that I've never attempted doing before. And what I have attempted to do in the past is commit to it, even if I'm not really sure where it's going to take me to. And that has made me learn two things. That in the process, when you get to commit to uncertainty, it keeps you on toes. It keeps you on toes in the sense that you realize that you have an identity. Your identity is a brand and your identity is a product. And when somebody is reaching out to you and you want to act on speed in committing unto it, two things happens to me. I'll always be waking up researching. Number two is I'll always try as much as possible to reach out to experienced key decision makers who are way ahead of me in seeking solutions, in seeking ideas of how best I can go through that particular project. That for me is speed. Speed is in the sense that trying to think on your spot, trying to think on your feet, even if at that particular time you don't have any idea whether you're going to complete that particular project, or rather whether you're going to succeed or fail. Number two, in terms of how I look at speed, is speed for me is about how do I even connect with fellow humans, in the sense that you go to a networking event, you don't know anybody in that particular phase. My mantra is, whenever I get into any networking events, is to attempt and pick two business cards. And a system in which I always use is, hey, my name is Kevin. I'm here intentionally to network and get business. Can I probably just have your card? I'll research later on and find out what you're doing, and probably later on see whether we're going to get into business. So for me, I mean, to probably just sum this up, is speed for me is taking risks and probably pursuing uncertain times without necessarily you knowing whether you're going to succeed or no. And number two is speed requires determination, in that, in the sense that if you're not really determined, you're not going to work up with speed. So probably those are probably two highlights, Felicia, that I'll want to maybe put in this particular context, and I hope it makes some sense to anyone listening.
I really like that. Thank you so much, Kevin. So you've really put that together in a very short time. And I know we are out of time completely, but that was really awesome. And I wish I could sum that up, but I'm not sure if time will allow us. But I believe our participants, or, our attendants will take note on that and maybe take a few things. And what I like about that is that, look at where you are and where you're going, right? And what results you want to see. And, try to keep up with that and see, how you're able to get that given the time that you have or the resources you have. So thank you so much, Kevin. And let me just wind up by thanking everyone who has managed to make time to attend. And we've been talking about speed. We've been finalizing, the last session this week for the month. You want to get, deeper into it, you want to get practical into speed and how you can apply speed in your area of life, work, and achieve more faster, please sign up for the session that is on, link in bio on Instagram at Nani. So let's meet again next week, same time, same place. We're going to launch another theme of the month of March, so you don't want to miss that. And so, share this widely. Yes.
There's a comment on comment from Frank Sengo, who says that
yes,
I think that the outcome quality stroke efficiency is important than speed, unless for very, very urgent things. So I believe that's probably Frank Sengo's comment on the same. Thank you, Felicia, for having me.
Frank. Thank you, Frank, for being as well. You've been on to the end, and for adding your inputs as well. Thank you so much for commenting. So thank you, Kevin. And so till then, have a great time in Mombasa. Thank you, everyone who's made it. Have a great time. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Felicia. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Yeah.